Hey everyone, today we're here to talk about how to install your wireless router for a DOS Sys 3.0. I don't have the actual router that I need for this presentation, but I will end up showing you a router for it. So when you talk about your DOS 3 router or DOS system 3.0 router, it goes from your wall jack for coax, just like it would for TV, or your what do you want to call it, your cable box. I'm sure all of you guys have internet at home. In that internet, you have a coax that goes into your router, and then that router either does Wi-Fi for you, or you plug into another router, and that pushes your Wi-Fi signal. The DOS Sys 3.0 gets rid of that middleman. You plug that coax directly into that. It's your router, nobody else's, and it's all controlled by you, not your cable company, not your internet provider. But your router would be similar to something like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it'd be something similar to this guy. Instead of having your Cat5 patch cord that comes into it, it'd be a coax, like the back of your cable box. Now, when you go to hook that up, you plug it in, you got to screw it down. Then you have to call the cable provider or the internet provider and give them a MAC address, a serial number, and then they run it through their system so that they have it on file so that they don't charge you an additional router. But at the same time, it's what speeds that you can handle. Most of your DOS Sys 3.0, your 5 gig will handle 1.5 gigs a second. Your 2.4 will handle about 500 megabytes or 600 megabytes. It depends on the router. It depends on how they limit it. But for you to actually install it, pretend with me, please, where this cable would go. This Cat5, this blue cable. I know there's a bunch of blue cables, but this guy right here, if you picture that as a coax, you would plug that in from your wall that comes straight from your cable or internet provider. You'd screw it down on this router. Once that's screwed in that router, and you call the cable company and you have everything set up, you're going to start pushing your Wi-Fi out. Now, your Wi-Fi router might have a username and password to get into. It might be that you have to set your limits on what it is, what speeds that it can handle. Like, most of your defaults aren't very high, so you have to log in, up your speed rate. When you up that speed rate, things move a lot smoother, a lot faster. When your speeds are faster, it's faster internet for you. But, and I really wish I could take this off the wall and it was the right router, and I'd give you a more in-depth of how to plug it in, how to set your Wi-Fi up. I'd do screenshots straight from my computer, logging into the router. I have one. It's just in Ohio right now, and I'm in Washington State. So you guys got to pretend with me, and hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to relay. So when you hook that coax in, and you done talk to the cable company, your internet, your Wi-Fi, after you log into it, set it up how you want, is going to be fast, it's going to be secure, it's going to be quick. You can start to use that internet right off the bat. Once that computer, your phone, whatever, hits it, you're running Wi-Fi, your speeds are incredible. But to do that, there's steps that you have to do. Now I'm about to go in depth with them steps. So you got the coax that you plugged in. you have to go in to you have to connect to that Wi-Fi router, even though you don't have the internet set up yet, because you got to log in. Once you log into it, I'm sorry, you would be logged into it because you'd use the default password and username on the back of your router. You use that, connect to the internet, then you have to put in an IP address. It's normally 192.168.0.1. It could be 192.168.1.0, so on and so on. But once you're in that website, you can now start going through your steps to increase your speed. Again, I really wish I could show you this. I wish I could flip the screen around and have it loaded. But I'm up in the mountains here in Washington, and I don't have the capability to do it, and it really sucks. Your router, I mean, you can spend hundreds of dollars. You can spend $87, I think is the cheapest one. But all the steps stay the same. You plug the coax into the back. That gives you the internet from the service provider. You call the service provider. You give them the MAC and the serial number. They'll tell you everything's good, you're good to go. Knock it out. Log into your actual router using that IP address. From that IP address, you get into the router, you set your settings up. Once your settings are set up, depends on the speeds, and everything is smooth as long as you know what you're doing and there's no mess ups. Again, the way that this should have and would have worked out if I had my stuff here would be the back of the router showing you where to plug it in, back of the router to show you your MAC and your serial number. Be a flip screen so that you could see the IP address for you to actually log into that router, and how to change your settings so that your speed is faster and you're secure. I'm sorry that I don't have that. But if there was to be any more issues, your cable provider would help you. Even though it's not their equipment, they would help you because that's what they supply to you for internet.